Yeah, I think I got left in 2019.
Somebody was like, "Well, that's that."
By a couple of people. I think, let me tell you something. I think when guys don't get what they want, as we know, you have male friends, they put time limits on things, and I am perfectly okay with that because I probably don't want to give you what you wanted anyway.
I'm glad you recognize.
So bye. Delete my number as well. Yours was never saved. So there's that. Hey girl, hey. Welcome back to High Functioning Mess. I'm Megan.
I'm Ebony.
And we're your hosts.
Thanks for joining us. We are here for another episode. And today we will be getting to, eventually, talking about men.
It's a relationship show. I know that's what y'all have been wanting.
We said so many times it's not going to be a relationship.
It's not going to be a relationship show, but you got to give the fans what they want every 3 episodes.
If y'all send us some different topics, we will talk about different things. And speaking of that, you had a PSA you wanted to give? You forgot about it? Interaction, that's not the word. Yes, it is.
Is
engagement.
Engagement.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have an idea, although I love your text messages, but I get a lot of them, and I get no comments in this comment section of videos. Mm-hmm. So if you have an idea or a thought process or positive suggestion of something that we've asked, just feel free to leave it in the comment section. Now, if you have feedback, that's critical feedback, text that to me. And we take it.
We take it. We're listening.
We listen.
Just don't post
it.
But
don't post that. Yeah. You don't even put that in the reviews or anything like that. So, but if something was funny, or if you agree with something, or if you can relate, we need your engagement, and we need you to say that in the comments section, whether it be Facebook, YouTube directly, whether you're listening to the podcast, wherever you are partaking, comment those things, and then let us know that you've commented so that we can use that information.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's all. That's my disclaimer. I love y'all.
Yeah, commenting helps because when people engage in content, other people see it. So
and then it starts a whole conversation. We want a whole dialogue underneath the videos is basically what we're asking for. So, and
it's a way for people to know that we even exist, because YouTube and Facebook loves content that's engaging, and they share it with more people when you do that.
Otherwise, they look past us. They don't care about us.
They don't care that we're
help
doing
us
this every week.
Please. We ain't even asking y'all for money. We're just asking you to comment. Yeah. I mean, we'll take money.
If you want to give us some,
soon come.
We will.
But
something, a PayPal, a Cash App, or something.
Right.
So that's all. Just that we appreciate, but we do appreciate everyone who is clearly excited about the podcast and enjoy listening and share their thoughts and feelings and all of that fun stuff.
Like y'all are watching for real. Yeah. Sometimes people, because we record these a week in advance, sometimes people comment or
say something
send me a message, and I'll be like, girl, what you talking about? Oh yeah, for the podcast. So long ago. So we appreciate it.
Yes.
It warms my little fuzzy heart.
It's awesome. We're excited that people enjoy the content. So all right, so we're gonna get started today as we always do with the catch up.
Oh,
would you like to go first? We always start with a catch up. Just what's been going on in your life?
WTF going on. That's what
you just had WTF going on.
Mm-hmm.
You've been remembering things?
I think a little bit. Mm-hmm. What is going on? Life is boring.
You just had
a birthday.
Yes.
That's fun. I spent it in Chicago, which is where I'm originally from. It was cold.
You were cute, though.
Cold as a white man's heart. That's what somebody said to me.
Never heard that in my life.
We're going to have to edit that out. But it was hilarious. I was like, oh... It should have been rich white man's heart, maybe. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it was cold.
That.
And then I came back to Houston and I celebrated a little bit.
Good
so it was fun.
You have turned another year.
I've turned another year.
Do you do reflections on your birthday?
No, because that doesn't work for me in the moment. I can look back and I can say, 2 years ago, I would have handled XYZ situation differently, but I can't wake up January 19th and go, I'm a different person. Let me tell you what's different. No, it has to be like an actual reflection and I'm looking back.
Yeah.
But most of the time, and a year is not enough. I feel like I'm still kind of the same person within a year. 2 years is like my golden point where I can say, oh, I know that I did X, Y, Z 2 years ago, and that's not anything I would have done now. Or I set a goal to improve, and I almost time to get it done in that first year. What about 2 years? I mean, unless it's like a tangible money saving or something like that.
Right. I don't do birthdays. I'm a big person for the new year, but I like newness. So
and restarts.
I love restarts. So every Monday is like exciting to me, the first of the month and New Year. So I always am like, what did I do this year? Like, I'm very big on like, if I'm messing with somebody that or I'm dating someone and I'm like, I just know this person isn't going to make it to the future. Like, we got to stop like December 31st.
Because you don't want that bad.
I don't want that moving into the new year. I got to start fresh. So we got to get one good in December, and then that'll be it for the rest of my life.
I think I do that too. But yeah. I think I got left in 2019.
Somebody was like, well, that's that.
By a couple of people. I think, let me tell you something. I think when guys don't get what they want, as we know, if you have male friends, they put time limits on things. And I am perfectly okay with that. Because I probably didn't want to give you what you wanted anyway.
I'm glad you recognized
it. So bye-bye. Bye-bye. Delete my number as well. Yours was never saved.
Yeah. So
there's that. But yeah, so that's really pretty much been it. I don't really have
anything new. A week just doesn't feel like, I have a catch up, but a week just doesn't feel like
enough time
when you don't, especially because I feel like my life is typically like same all the time. So it's like,
it's either, it has to be really drama filled or something like, which is probably not good. It could be good stuff for it to need a week catch up. I started off going to therapy every week and I was like, girl, I don't got nothing else to talk to you about and I don't want to be here. So let's change this.
Yeah. For me, well, a few things happened. First off, this is like work-wise, and you might not care about this, but I'm really excited about it. I just got on 2 EAPs, which is the Employee Assistance Program. And the reason I'm excited about it is because I, for a lot of reasons, don't take insurance. And it's always like that whole, you want to help everybody as a therapist, but my bills, I can't afford to help everybody, and my dreams and all of that, I can't afford to help everybody. So I do private pay. People pay me a decent amount of money to come see me. But I recently got on these 2 EAPs that are like these new age tech-based EAPs, and they pay very well. And the people that come see me don't have to pay anything. And I'm really excited about that. So the employees of those companies will be able to see me for free, and I still get to get paid very well, which is like my goal. I would love if we could figure out a way for that to happen for all therapists, where we still can like have a decent living, but people can get the help they need. So that made me very excited. I got approved for both this week.
Balling.
Yes,
she got money.
I'm excited, and so my client load is gonna be a little heavier because money is good, and I'll be able to help. It's just exciting to be able to help way more people.
I thought you were about to say I get to help white people.
No. I'm pretty sure my clients are going to still be black. They still going to be. I'm not because I put that out there, but just because that's who you want, a therapist that looks like you. So they reach out to me, which I am very happy about it. Because when my client load was all white, it was a very different experience. So.
Oh, when you were out there.
When I was out there. I wasn't in the loop. I wasn't in the city limits. So I was out there. So that was that. And then the craziest thing that happened was Megan sent a text message.
Oh, I did.
You did. You started it. She sent a text message that a TV show called Ready to Love, I don't know why I was going to try to be vague, is casting. So Here in Houston, which is weird because it's based in Atlanta. Both seasons. No,
it's not based.
It wasn't in DC one year?
It's just like Married at First Sight. They go to various, I think the first season was a trial run, and then they did, and I think when they got green light to go other places, when the show itself gets green, they're like, okay, you got good viewing, now they can venture out and go to different places. So I think that's probably they're probably starting in Houston because it's a large working black professionals and full of singles, and then they'll probably move to DC and they'll probably go to other areas, I would imagine.
Well, they're in Houston, and Megan sent it, and it was like a ha ha ha.
Because
you didn't even start with me. You started with Raynell should apply, and then
I just didn't think that you would ever do it.
I didn't. Let's start there. So I missed these text messages because I'm recording a podcast. I was doing something, and then when I see them, I tell my business partner, who is obsessed with me dating and all of those things, And she's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do it for you. And I was like, what? And she applied for me. And that was 24 hours ago. And then I got a phone call today to do a phone interview. And in a couple weeks, I'll be meeting with producers. Even talking about this, like,
this is happening.
This literally happened while she was sitting here before we started the podcast.
I was just working away. And she's like, she answers calls all the time because this is what she does for a living. So I zone out because I assume it's a client and I'm minding my business. And she gets nervous, and she don't get nervous. And she's like, I'm
trying to mouth it to her.
And I said, what are you saying? She said, no, it's not. Whole interview.
Whole one. All the questions. So.
Are you excited?
No. I'm not excited. I'm excited for y'all to go on this journey with me. That's what I'm excited about. I feel weird. But I'm not like oblivious. I know that they are probably talking to, cause someone else, right?
They called another
another friend. So they're going to call everybody that applied. I'm very curious. Is she going to the producer round?
I haven't checked my text message.
Okay.
It's on silent.
I'm very curious if everybody gets to the producer round. The casting director, I'll call it, I don't know if that's what she is, was very excited about me being a relationship therapist. So she seemed very intrigued with that I was a relationship therapist thinking about going on a dating show. But yeah, I didn't do the initial application.
You may just get to the first 20 just based off that alone.
Maybe. Oh, the first 20, like at the house. I thought you meant
at the house. Yeah. Or they hook your girl up and put her on the show as a therapist.
So that's what I'm trying to finesse.
What's needed.
So if y'all happen to know anybody that works for Ready to Love, let them know that there's an awesome candidate, but she might be better as the staff therapist that helps the singles get through this whole process. I'm just saying, you never know. Who's watching this. You have lots of friends in Atlanta and places.
Ready to Love is a dating show.
Oh yeah,
and it's where they match in a it's intimate environment, because when you're meeting each person, it's 10 and 10 or 20 and 20 to begin with. Maybe it's 20 and 20 to begin with.
No, the first episode of the house, it's 10 and 10. 10 men, 10 women.
Oh, and then they start narrowing down.
Yeah, a week. One person a week. It's like 8 weeks, I think.
I'm gonna fact check that.
It's 10. Well, this season was 10 and 10. At the house, it was 10 people. And they only because the first episode, they let 2 people go. And then after that, it was 1 person each time. Okay,
so that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I know they let more than 1 person go, so it would get down to a small number quickly. And you're dating, like, you're not living in a house or anything like that. It's not The Bachelor. It mimics real life. And in real life, when you're single and dating, you date multiple people. That's why I'm obsessed with the show, because it's real life, and you just get to see, like, oh, you feeling her and me, and you saying the same things to us, kind of thing. So it's a good show. I like it. Nephew Tommy hosts it, if you haven't seen it. It comes on their own network.
And everybody on the show, you have to be between 30 and 50.
Well, you think you'll get to meet Oprah?
No. I have other pathways to meet Oprah, probably more than this one.
If you do, can you ask her to pay off my student loan?
I will. Okay. I'm going to start with mine, and then I'll ask about you.
I asked first. Dibs.
That's all I dibs.
Dibs. Man, you already said yes. You promised. I'm holding you to it.
We'll see. So yeah, that's happening. I don't even have like real thoughts about it, because it was so quick that
it was just yesterday.
It was just like literally she applied yesterday. Yeah. It was yesterday because we were meeting, and she applied right before she applied in 15 minutes for me, and it was right before her client at 5 o'clock. And they called me today at 3. So
they
getting through them.
But what if they have a lot? I bet they don't have a lot of guys applying.
Oh, probably not.
Houston, let me tell y'all about Houston. We're going to talk about this during this show anyway, so it's a great transition. We'll talk about our water in a second. That's at the end. I always do that. At the end. Houston men just have a lot of options.
That is very true.
And it's some fine, big booty women here in Houston.
That is true.
And everybody has a little bit of chump change, because people either move here or the economy is just is booming. It's not, there was no recession hit here a couple of years ago. Like, we were oblivious to that. We hit harder when it's oil and gas, when it's a war. Yeah. So it's just, everybody got a bit of chump change. Everybody driving a foreign car. It's like a less snooty or uppity version of Atlanta. Okay,
No, I don't, that's interesting because I feel like I just had this conversation yesterday and someone said that Houston may have been a little, which I'm from here, so I don't see that. No, she said that. No, she did say that because she said Houston is more country. So it's not as uppity as Atlanta.
Oh, see, okay. Even if we're gonna argue the uppity, the difference, no shade to Atlanta. I got a lot of Atlanta friends, and I know at least one is gonna watch this over the time frame.
So
I don't mean this as an insult, and I also don't mean this to local Atlanta. It's a lot of faking the funk in Atlanta. Here, it's actual money. It's no faking. These are people that have, not that they don't have businesses in Atlanta, but what I'm saying is people take their corporate America money that they're already making decent by being engineers, by being nurses, because that's what our economy is, and then they flip that. So then they, are investing in real estate. And I feel like in Atlanta, with my experience, feel free to argue with me, but do it in the comments, not in my text messages. I feel like Atlanta is a lot of like people looking like they have.
I'm shaking my head. I don't know.
And it's not always the case. I feel like out of the 10 people that look like they have something, 3 actually will. Whereas I think the numbers are flipped here.
I can see that only because I think of Atlanta is, Hollywood South. So then I could see
the same way.
LA people they say LA is very fake. So I could see that being the same way in Atlanta, where it's like you have to be known and seen and all that type of stuff.
And I feel like then Houston and DC are comparable in that division because you have the government agency which pays tons of money, right? So you have real, not only just looking like, and half the time the people here that have the most money don't even really look like it. You don't know. They don't have on a Gucci belt. They don't have, they gonna drive a nice car because we live in Texas and you
gotta drive anyway. Yeah.
So, but everybody has nice. It's also people that don't have no money at all that have nice cars. So that ain't a determining factor around these parts at all. You gotta go to somebody's house and see what they living like in the inside to know for real if they got a little bit chump change. But
that is very, very
But that's exciting, and I'm excited for you.
Yeah. So y'all, until they have me sign a
non-disclosure or a waiver,
non-disclosure or something, I'll be sharing with y'all all of this. So if randomly I'm just like, can't talk about it anymore, or y'all just stop hearing me talk about it. We'll see. It's like, why she hasn't mentioned it? My plan, but it's so funny. I'm gonna say it anyway. I don't care. My plan though is to like blog or video it myself, and then if I end up on the show, I'm gonna be talking about these guys. I want to do it at the same time though. Like I want to have the blog maybe as the show come out, but I want to have these blogs of my experience
and not giving specific
and not giving like names or anything like that.
You're on the show and just like almost like keeping a journal.
Yeah, and then as the show come out, share my perspective at the time of the filming.
Where are you gonna share this at?
Here, YouTube, roomforrelations.com. I don't know, somewhere. But I feel like that's a good way to at least, even if I don't make it past the first episode or whatever, I think it's a good way to just kind of like engage people. Okay. And because I just like talking about relationships and sex. And I feel like that's going to be like the ultimate, like, you literally said you should do this for research. And so if I make it on the show, not that I'm not ready for love, just in case any of your producers are watching, but if I actually make it on the show, I feel like it would be cool to be like, so this person, let me tell y'all, this is what you shouldn't do while you're dating. And this is what may cause issues. And men, this is a problem. I don't know. We'll see.
I hope it works out. I'm excited. The other person that got called back is a character too. So
she is funny.
I would love to
see her funny. That would be funny.
I think she's going to make it just based off
her personality. Yeah, she has a huge personality.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to tell our other friend yesterday. She said, I wouldn't do that. And I was like, okay.
In agreement?
We went to to the birthday thing yesterday. She was like, no,
she wouldn't do that.
Anyway, I think she'd be perfect for the show too.
She would.
She'd be perfect. I wouldn't, but we'll see. People seem to like my randomness. The lady on the phone was cracking up. So
I don't know though. I think every guy on there gonna get on your nerves. Not on your nerves, but I don't think you're gonna take it. I don't think there's gonna be. I don't know that I feel like you may. I don't know.
I'm gonna
really know.
Is that her name? Nina? Is that her name?
I don't.
Nina.
Emotion.
I'm not gonna be emotionally unstable. Like not that part, but the on the first episode, how she was just kind of like, I'm not I talk on here. I talk to you. That's why we talking. But and I'm a very good one-on-one, like engaging and talkative and things like that when I'm having a one-on-one conversation. But to try to like get somebody's attention and to be the person that has to like be like, come talk to me and let's have a like.
I also think for you to be interested in someone. Oh, but you know, when we were watching the show, you were like, oh, I like him. He's cute. Or I would.
It's like 2 people.
Him. I mean, that's enough.
That is enough. You're right. Because
that goes against what I was.
But Houston also, like you said, it's a lot of attractive women. I think it's a lot of attractive men in Houston too.
It's a lot of men in Houston.
So
I don't know if they're gonna be on the show.
That's the question: are they applying for the show or not?
For damn show.
Right, but there are very attractive men in Houston. So I don't know.
Never mind. I ain't gonna put that in the air.
Yes. All right, so let's go into.
You know what I was thinking. I ain't gonna say it. But you know what I mean.
I'm sure. I think it would be the most interesting part about watching it in general, like regardless if I make the show or not. The most interesting thing is that if you go out in Houston, Black Houston is so small. And so to watch the show and see all these familiar faces, even if you don't.
I said, watch how many people I've been on. At least one day. At least one, I can assure you. But 30 to 50, yeah. At least one. It's going to be at least one.
Because you have to think about the personalities that for men. For women, like I'm not a person that's out a lot or whatever, but whatever, I'll do the show.
Oh, I should suggest it to this guy that I know, but I don't want him to take it the wrong way. That's the guy I went on a date with recently.
Oh.
And he's very attractive. I think he would get on the show just based off of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's fine. And he is looking for love, and I don't know how old he is. Don't give me a line. I'm making up age. I think he's like 39.
Okay.
But I think he would do well show-wise. I'm not necessarily talking about love. If you want to turn it into he personal trains on the side and like has all this other stuff, I think. And he's a business owner. He owns his own business. You know, he's successful. So
yeah.
I think he would do well. But I don't know how to suggest it to him without. You were just trying to take me on a date the other day, and I'm saying you should go on the show. People get weird about stuff like that, and I don't want to be offended by nobody.
He may watch another date with him.
He may watch this. He probably won't know I'm talking about him.
Yeah. Just send it to him.
He lives too far.
Yeah. I'm about to say if you don't plan on.
He doesn't know that I don't plan
on.
We can't make it work because
of how far he lives.
And the hours, and he only got this amount of time available, and I'm real like, let's go get drinks, and he all the way on the other side of town, literally. He lives in like Clear Lake.
Okay. Ew. Yeah, that's not close at all. Okay.
Fine.
Well,
if you're watching this,
hopefully, right. I think you should tell him, but we'll see. That is farther out. I don't know if I would. I mean, unless he always gonna come.
Oh, that's true. Because they asked you.
They asked me where I lived. Exactly, they did. And then obviously she's not from here, so she didn't really know, but she did ask exactly where I lived.
Was it an Atlanta number?
I don't even know because I made them call my business number because I wouldn't have answered if it wasn't.
No.
That's why. Elisa was like, "What number should you put on there?" And I was like, "If it's not my business, I'm not going to answer. I don't answer unknown numbers." So.
All right, we can talk about this 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I probably don't even care.
It's fine. All right. So takeaway from last week. Oh, before we get into the actual topic, one of my takeaways that I thought I would just warn y'all about. I mean, I feel like most of our viewers, I can't think of the word right now, are Black women. So it may not be a shocker, but for anybody else, my hair is going to change every single week probably. So just get used to. I was watching each episode like, dang, you have had a new hairstyle every single week.
Natural, like it's not. That's just inevitable.
Yeah. So unless I have like braids or something, it's going to look different. So that's all. I just wanted to share that. But last week we talked about
procrastination.
Yes, I put productivity over here, but procrastination. So do you have any takeaways from that?
What's funny is I did try to start implementing. This is just in the general sense. It's more of kind of like a New Year thing. How do I word this properly? I want to be better at my job. I'm not bad at it, but I know what needs to be done to be okay. And I do that because I'm just not really motivated. Not that my job is bad, but I know that I could do better. And a lot of that is connected to waiting till the last minute until stuff is done. Some of it's is out of my control. That's why I'm like, what's the point in me going over and beyond, and I'm waiting on the client to do X, Y, Z. But I'm trying to get out of that mind frame. So I think last week's episode helped to drive that sort of mentality and that thought process to shift out of that. You put stuff in the energy. You put stuff in the universe, and that becomes sort of your energy and your aura. So, No, I mean, not a specific thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was specific, I would have packed already. But I leave tomorrow.
She leaves tomorrow morning.
I have to leave the house at 5:45.
It is 6:55 p.m. right now.
No, it's fine. It's just swimsuits. But what about yourself?
The only thing that I took away, which I don't even know if it's considered a takeaway because I'm pretty sure I'm the person that said it, but it sounds kind of conceited, was the understanding who you are. And it's not a problem unless it's a problem. So it's not if you are a procrastinator, but you still get stuff done, you're still productive. Like, don't beat yourself up about it. Just accept that this is who I am and then act accordingly. I think so many times we try to change things about ourselves that's just kind of like innate, as opposed to like building on what we already know. So that's the only thing I would say. It's just like, I'm a procrastinator. I know I'm a procrastinator. I literally have actually, I did finish that yesterday though. I have a speaking engagement in the morning, but I need to print lots of things. I have to be there at 9:30, which means, and I don't have a printer at home. So I'm going to have to leave my house at 8:30 to go print before I head to that. As opposed to like today when I was sitting here while you were working, I could have went, it's literally a block away to go print stuff. Could have did that then, but I wanted to sit here and watch Megan work. So,
you was watching something else.
I was watching, we were talking, but yeah, so I know me, and so I get stuff done, and so I'm not gonna beat myself up for being a procrastinator, and I think that's important. Unless you're gonna do something about it, just accept it and make it work from there. So,
and I think, I should have said this last week. Probably the best way to sort of piggyback on that, right? If you do decide that you're gonna do something about it, I think it's to start with something small.
Yes.
Let's tackle one small thing first.
Yes.
If you want to change anything, that actually can be applied to anything. If you see that in your life it's a prevalent, reoccurring sort of characteristic that you want to improve, start small. If you're late to stuff all the time, I don't know, set little small goals of, okay, well, instead, every time, because a good example for being late, the reason why most people are late, this is my theory, this has not been tested, okay, is that you think that it'll take you underestimate how much time it takes you to get ready, and you think, as long as I leave by this time, then I'll get there on time. Just add 10 minutes on to both of those.
Right. Even if GPS is telling you this is how long it's going to take you, yeah.
Or if you think you know. If you're not using GPS and you just go, it only takes me 30 minutes. Because one or two things are going to happen. Either it just flat out ain't going to take you 30 minutes. Or you're not going to leave in enough time. I'm actually, even though I'm typically a very on-time person, it still will be times where it's like, okay, I'm going to leave the house by 2. I'm boom, boom, boom. I'm going to get out of here on time. And it's never 2. It's never. But on the flip side, I have already added that extra time. I know it takes me 15 minutes tops to get over here, but I always leave in a 30-minute. So this way, when it does take me 6 minutes, when I sit down in my car from walking from my door and I realize it's 8 after, it's okay that I have that lag time because I'm now getting there right on. Now it puts me there right on time instead of being late. Right. Which, depending on your beliefs, to be on time is to be late. To be early is to be on time.
Yep.
But so just like little small, that's just a real small, very general, basic example of like knocking out. And then you feel good about yourself that you've accomplished and that you've improved something. And now you can move on to the next thing. And then it becomes habit.
Yep.
Anyway.
One small change at a time. All right. So we're going to talk today about, I was like, what was the topic? If my life was really together, I'd have a man. I feel like, and again, I'm going to stop doing that disclaimer. Like, this isn't a dating show. Because again, we're probably going to talk about that.
In this episode it is.
This episode is definitely about this. Because I feel like when we talk about like our lives not being where we want them to be, that's like the first thing as a single person that we go to. It's like, well, I'm not in a relationship. I'm not married. So something is missing or something isn't there. And so I was trying to think, like, where does that even come from? Like, where does it come from that is the check mark of your
society?
Society, family. Do you get family pressure?
No, and they better not.
I don't.
No, Well, not pressure. Pressure is a heavy word.
Yeah.
Pressure is saying like bugging you. I've had people ask like, oh, so you ready to have some kids? But what man? What man am I having this child with?
My dad makes jokes like you're never in a relationship. It's always just a friend. I'm like, but they are just friends. I'm not in a relationship.
And I think, but you know what? Also, too, when it comes to, first of all, my mom, dad, and stepmom are never going to pressure me.
That's good.
But they also know that I date. So I'll talk to my dad about a guy that, very lightly. I'll have a funny story. And I'm like, let me tell you, look, this guy that I'm dating, he and he'll sit there and chuckle and laugh with me. So he knows, that I like men and that they exist. And, he don't. Sometimes he'll say, like, when I was dating in Arizona, he would say, so, I mean, is he ever going to come to Chicago or what? What's going on? And I'd be like, we got to ask him. And he never came. That's also a bigger deal for me.
I was about to say, because you don't live.
I don't live there, and I've never brought anybody home.
Right.
I've dated people. I've been in full-fledged relationships, and it just we didn't make it there.
That's true.
And even my last relationship, we were together for a year. And we were from the same place. That was just, I knew that wasn't going on.
Oh, I was about to say, that's interesting.
I was like, I don't really want you to meet. He met my mom and my brother. Because they came down here.
Oh, okay. I live in the same city. Which I haven't been in a relation, we are boyfriend and girlfriend. And I can introduce in a very long time. Like, I've dated people extended periods of time. So, they don't see anybody. All they see are my homeboys. Which is where my dad gets you always only have friends. I'm like, well, that's what they are. But I don't feel like I get pressure. And probably just because of the nature of my family, where in my immediate family, everybody is single except my little sister who's now engaged. But everybody...
I was going to say the opposite. What? I was going to say, I think I don't get pressure because all the other kids have kids or have somebody.
Oh, so they're good.
Yeah, they're good.
That's interesting. Everybody got kids. Most people got kids, but not husbands.
I feel like that's the reason why family will pressure you. They be worried about grandbabies.
Oh, they already knew I wasn't having no kids.
Oh, that's true. That's right.
Yeah.
That's true.
I told them, you can't tell me since I've been 10 not to get pregnant and then be surprised when I want to have kids as I get older. Like, your fault.
That's a whole nother episode.
Look. Okay, so yeah, I guess it's society, and it's also the desire to have companionship.
Okay, so that's my main thing. Because I started off not even wanting kids. Not wanting them, but I was just like, I don't really care. When I was younger, like still in high school, my strong desire did not come until I got older. And I think it also has something to do with probably hormones. I feel like the desire is stronger off of birth control.
To be in a relationship or to have kids?
To have children.
Oh, okay.
And for me,
that only happens
if I'm in a partnership.
That makes sense, yeah.
I don't have to be married, to be honest. I ain't from the South. It's a lot of people that's married with kids and miserable. I want a partnership. I want a best friend. But I think the yearning, that to me, it is companionship, though. So that's what my key thing that I feel like I'm missing. Even as I'm dating, it's still like it's you and it's me. And then we come together, we hang out, we whatever. But that's not like my ride or die.
Right.
In every relationship I've ever been in, that's my best friend at that time. With the exception of the last person I dated. But I still talk to my college ex to this day. Every day. It took time for us to get there, right? We went years without talking. But like that friendship is still a true friendship because that's the foundation that it was based on, that it was built on. So I miss having, it's a combination, because even if I feel like I kind of have that with a person, I feel like I'm being taken advantage of.
Oh, okay.
That's from trauma. Like I have a reason why I feel that way. So it's a mixture of like, I just want to be able to go, all right, let me tell you what Linda did today at work. And for me to not have to explain who Linda is.
Right, start from scratch.
Or somebody to be able to go to Jersey Mike's and get my sandwich the way that I like my sandwich. Or like when I got into my car accident a couple weeks ago, I want somebody that I can call that is obligated to take care of me.
Right.
To take care of me emotionally.
Right.
Nobody else is obligated to do that.
You have people that will.
Yes, but
they're not obligated.
They're not obligated.
Yeah.
And I have a thing about being a burden on people. I don't want to bother people, and I don't want to blah, blah, blah.
Same.
So my person will not only be obligated, but will want to. You know? And I miss that. That's what I miss the most.
Yeah.
So I think a combination of both. So
society
and that desire.
The desire for companionship. Yeah.
But you said you feel like you don't need.
Oh, yes. So I am team, I don't need a man, but not like that. Like,
but not extreme.
Not with the neck roll or nothing like that. Like, but I truly, and probably because I'm saying it in a more literal way is why I'm always like, but you don't. Like, you really don't. I can survive. I pay my bills. I eat. I'm still breathing. But even when it comes to companionship, right? So I understand that part of relationships is having someone, and we are social beings and we do need to have social connections and things like that. I have that. I have awesome friends. I have people I get to hang out with. I have people I get to enjoy my time with. So I don't necessarily feel like I need a man. That does not take away. And that is probably a big part of my view when it comes to relationships is the choice to be here. It's not that I need to be here. I need you to be here. We get to choose each other every day. So I don't know. I feel like people make it such a negative thing when you say you don't need. And are there times when I want probably even more than normal? Probably when I'm like right before my period. When I'm ovulating or some shit, I'd be like, man, I wish I had somebody here with me. But yeah, I mean, but all the similar stuff that you said though, like the reason why I want someone though is, yeah, I would love to have someone that I have a consistent person. I have, like I said, I have lots of friends, but they have relationships or they have other obligations and friendships. And that kind of goes into like what your expectation is of a relationship too. Like, I want someone that's always available when I want them to be available, but then I also know that I know that's not real life, but that's my point is that.
You don't have no job, man.
Like, can you not go to work today and just hang out with me because I'm off today? Can we so I know that's not real life, but that's just human nature. Like, you want what you want when you want it. So I definitely see the benefits of it to have someone that like I can call. And while I lean on my friends and my male friends for a lot of stuff, to have one person that, I don't want to say obligated because I don't necessarily agree with that, but that wants to be that person for me. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, I don't know if I have exact examples though, like you're saying. I mean, like taking the trash out and like killing roaches would be great. Car stuff. But other than that, like, I just want somebody that I hang out with, like, regularly.
I think...
And have sex with.
My
it's
need...
Important. To me.
Title for that. I think my need comes from... I don't know if I would ever let the words come out of my mouth that I need a man, but I've never been the I don't need. And I think it comes from more of an emotional standpoint. There are things emotionally that you get from a romantic partner that I cannot and do not want from platonic. So, and I yearn for that connection and that emotional. So, and to a certain degree, not that I feel incomplete necessarily, but that's not, nobody else can fill that void. Like only a romantic connection. I can live without it. Like I've been going, we're on 3 years now, going just fine, living without it. But if we're talking about a desire and, you know, that can't be filled by, oh, let me go hang out with friends. Let me go. No, my friend, I have my own void when I haven't been around my friends, or if I haven't seen people like, and I miss them on a different sort of whatever, in intellectual, you know, banter back and forth. I can do that non-romantically. I can do all these other things I can do non-romantically, but that emotional connection with a person, with a partner, that I yearn for, and therefore that's why I call that a need. It's not even necessarily, I mean, I would hope that if I come together with somebody that we're making each other's lives better in some way, shape, or form, sure.
Yeah.
But it's, for me, an actual, like, yearning or, you know, whatever that can't be, it's not a itch that can be scratched by a hobby or by,
right,
whatever. So that's the only reason why I would define it as a need. But I can get through life just fine. It's people that die with nobody. It's people that don't find their person until the later years of their life or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
But
I definitely agree. Like I agree when it comes to like physical intimacy and not sex. Like I am a very affectionate person. And I'm not like that with my friends. Most of my friends are surprised when they see me with like a boyfriend or somebody I'm dating because they're like, "Why are you touching on?" Because I don't touch people.
She pushed me off her when I hugged her the other day.
That's not nice.
Well, you didn't push me off, but you stiffed up.
I probably So and so that is one of those things that I miss. No, I'm just playing. But no, but that's a huge thing for me because I'm not a physically affectionate person with friends, male or female. I mean. Do you feel like I'm physically affectionate with the guys? Yeah.
Everybody does. We do. We've had this conversation. More so when alcohol is involved.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I can see that. But so, okay. Well, then, that brings a lot of things in perspective as far as other people having issues with my male friends. But I feel like I'm way more.
Not overly, though.
Yeah.
I don't think that you're overly.
Okay.
But to say, if Rebecca, can I say names? If Rebecca walks in, she's gonna hug everybody, and she's gonna, that's how she does when she walks in. Very affectionate, very, whatever. I don't. Not that I think it's weird, but you're not that way. Mm-hmm. And
I probably would hug the guys before the girls, though.
Okay.
And I don't know. I don't know.
She gonna unpack that on her own.
I know. I'm trying to figure. I think it's just
you're also closer with them to a certain degree and known them longer. You think that has anything to do with that?
Or I just, anytime I see people hugging, a lot of times it's guys versus girls. I don't know. That makes me think. Because I hug, and I'm awkward is what it is. I'm very awkward. So I will see Rory and not hug him 3 out of the 5 times, but then hug him the other 2 times, right? Mm-hmm. But with women, sometimes, especially because, I don't know, sometimes women I'm just like not sure, so I just don't.
Even with the same.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's definitely not a thing for me to like have to be like touchy or like, people walk up and be like, "Oh, I'm a hugger." And I'm like, I'm not a hugger. I will because I feel like most people like to hug, but that's not my go-to.
But even the point of like, I want to reiterate you're not overly, like, even, I feel like when you hug the guys, it's still a side hug. Hug. Definitely. Whereas like, I be trying to make like Carl uncomfortable and I'm hugging and rub on him and, whatever. I squeeze if I hug him. You know what I mean? It's just.
The only time I do that is if I haven't seen them in a long time.
Oh, and that's also the difference. Yeah. I don't see them
That's
as
true.
often.
I see them weekly.
So, yeah.
But if I'm in a relationship, I'm like, it's annoying. I know it is. I know it's annoying for people to be around me when I'm dating somebody.
For the other people.
For the other people. Because they don't see me that way. So they're just like, who are you?
Do you think it's fake?
I don't know. I know I had one friend that was like, and I was like hungover. And my friend came over. We had
hold it down for a long time.
No, I have a cut on my finger.
Oh.
And so sometimes it recognizes, sometimes
you should schedule. You should program both.
I should.
Both these and these. And I do both it's my middle fingers. But maybe do both. You can do as many as you want.
I will do that. But yeah, so my friend, I was hungover, and so the guy came over that I used to date. We weren't even dating at the time, but he came over to see my friend because they got really close over dating. And like literally they're in the kitchen talking and having a conversation. I'm on the couch like dying, and I'm like, "Come over here!" Like I started acting like a whine, which again, that is not me. And literally made him sit by me. I said, "Y'all can keep talking, but you need to be here so I can lay on you while y'all have a conversation." So yeah, so physical intimacy is probably something that I miss the most from
somebody told me from my birthday shindig, which I was drunk, viewers, by the way.
She had a good time.
And he said, "You were so nice and affectionate." Or no, what did he say? Nurturing and nice. And I said, first of all, I'm nurturing and nice all the time. And I thought about it and I was like, But also I'm not dating that person. Who I am when I date people, and people don't believe me because they never see me with the person that I'm dating. But I am a very and my friend saw. I'm gonna ask permission to touch you,
girl. You.
But my friend saw when we went and we hung out with my brother in Chicago, and they see how he is, and he is extremely affectionate, and we're just very touchy. He's with the person he's with, but I'm not saying with Actually, we are. We're touching with each other. Like I up on him, and like we rub each other's backs, and I'm a leg. I have to be touching you at some point. If we are of intimacy level, I have got. I love the small of the back. Yeah. Even if we could be around other people. You can be engaged in a conversation with somebody else across the way.
Same.
And I still have to rub you. Yep. I have to rub your leg. I have to check in with you to make sure you're good. But my friends think it's a lie. They're like, no, you're not. I'm like, just because I'm not like that with y'all or with the guys that you see, like, these aren't people that I'm dating. Yeah. Like, those are two different things. I don't understand why.
It can definitely be different.
It's way different. I guess so. Anyway, I corrected myself. I was like, maybe I'm not like that. Maybe you haven't ever seen
Maybe.
that.
He's like, this is new. I definitely feel like that's the feedback I get from guys that I'm dating, because I don't get to that place until we are like together, or like I've had guys that I was just dating, but because they were such affectionate people, it made me comfortable in that. But if you're not, then I'm not gonna do that until we are like, okay, we're together, and then I feel comfortable like for whatever.
I think it's because I think I've always gotten good feedback. It helps when they're affectionate as well, obviously. But even for the ones that are not, I've always gotten such good feedback. And you can tell, like, we naturally are tense as humans, right? We sit with stress in certain areas of our body. But I like that reaction of when you're rubbing, and you can feel their body relax. Yeah. And you can, maybe it's a power trip, maybe. So I like doing other things too, because I think it's like I like to see, but it's not even control. I like to make you feel good. That's literally what it comes down to. Yeah. I don't want to control you necessarily. I like to be the person that made you feel good. So, and that's connected to multiple things, right? So,
right.
But anyway, so that's what that was you don't need, but you were explaining.
Yes, that's I want, desire. And I have reasons to want, and I think that's important too. This is about to be a small tangent. I think people get so caught up in like what it's supposed to be and what like I need or my life is incomplete because I don't have. But a lot of times we don't even know why we want it, or we have a specific, like, even talking about like what do we want. Like, I want somebody to take my trash out. I want somebody to like answer the phone if I get into a car wreck. I want somebody, blah blah. And it's like, well, what if the person that you end up with messes up on those things? It becomes the biggest issue. Because they didn't do these things that you've designed them, or you've decided that that's their part in your life. Like, they're not a whole other human. I think a lot of times we create a life.
This is going to be my takeaway.
I think we create a life, especially, and I've heard this so much with clients. Like, I'm not going to say women, but I'm going to say women. We create
men too, because I got examples for that.
Okay.
Wait, I'm waiting on you to
everybody creates a life that works for them, and they expect to be able to get someone and just plop them into that space that's missing, and they should fulfill whatever roles are missing. And that's not fair to another human being.
And that's primarily my issue with the Black community, of this whole, you work until you're successful and then you find somebody. And it's like, because now you assume,
because you've been saying
that whoever you about to plug into this little spot is going to cook, clean, or provide, or whatever. Insert whatever your definition of a partner is for this person. And when they don't do that, you're not willing to work with that person. But y'all didn't grow to get to that point. So your expectations are, that's why we sitting around here single for so long. I mean, kind of, I'm kidding, but not really. Like, I have had so many conversations with guys. Okay, do you want a woman that can cook? Sure. I'm not faulting you for that. Because to be honest, I want a man that can cook.
Hopefully we both can like.
The difference is when I say, well, what if she can't? But she's willing to learn. Or what if she tries, but she's really bad? Most answers are, nah, I'm good on that. Like, and that blows my mind. And now, granted, they're not talking in a realistic, I understand it's different via hypothetical. But the fact that even your hypothetical answer is, nah, I'm good on that.
Right.
If you don't learn how to bake some fucking chicken and put that shit in the oven, that annoys me. You're gonna, so we're Xing people out completely because of a skill set that you can learn. You can't grow 3 inches, but you can learn how to cook. Right. If we really want to go there, I don't mind shorter men, but I'm just saying.
That's true. That's true.
It's just people are so
because they don't
picky.
fit into whatever you have decided a husband is supposed to look like, or a girlfriend is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, they don't fit all of these things. So I think identifying what the needs are and identifying like what is that about? Yes, what is that about? Like, why is it that you feel like you need a man to help you get your finances in order? Like,
well, I can answer that. If it's something that I'm not strong in,
but you can learn. Same thing. Why wouldn't you just learn how to do it?
I don't have the confidence.
Because you haven't learned it. When you have more information and you learn a skill, you have more confidence.
I don't have confidence.
You have the confidence to do a podcast now.
No, I don't. What did I do to do this podcast? I came and found somebody that already knew.
But
how to
over
do
time,
it.
you will become more confident as you have learned
because
how
you're
to
teaching me.
Exactly.
So that guy's gonna come along and he's gonna teach me.
Oh God! Or you can find somebody else that can teach you.
I'll tell you what. I have less of that and more of I just don't want to be the only one doing any damn thing.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
So I don't know if that's something I gotta, but I guess you should allow people their like weak points, but I don't like that because I'm not like that. I want to know a little bit about everything.
I think that's great. My thing is we put these expectations and then we meet someone who has all these things and it appears, because you said that before, where you feel like it's people that you assume because they make a certain amount of money, then they know what they're doing with money.
That is always my assumption.
And then y'all date for a year or two, you fall in love and find out he got all these credit cards that he been using to go on dates with you. You know, like, is that then like, okay, we can't be together? Or do we learn together? Like, okay, so it's a growth thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Please don't.
I don't think she like that.
Please have a good credit score. It's too many. The internet exists. It teaches you how to have a good credit score. Mm-hmm. I need you to just work on it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard. I did it.
Yeah. Remember that used to be my opener for open relations. It's good now.
Got that good credit.
Got that good credit.
So what do you feel like are, I guess, tips, or what should people like take away from having this mindset of my life isn't together until I have a man or until I have a partner or a spouse? Like, what are your suggestions, or is that true? Is your life really not together until you have a partner?
I mean, I guess the proper answer is no. But I also understand why you feel that way.
You're like,
okay, so we're
going to be politically correct.
Hold on, I have to pull up my source because I always do this, and I don't be having the proper information. Let me Google the name of the book.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to talk? I'll talk. So my tips are while you're looking at it. Well, it's not really a tip. My only thing is, like, when thinking about this, and this is probably just across the board with anything that you feel like is missing in your life. Like, life is still happening. It's still going on. So for us to sit in a space of feeling like we're not good enough because we don't have is a huge issue. And I think we have to, not to say, because we've had this discussion too, not to say that doesn't mean you don't feel like something is missing, but it shouldn't feel like my life is a mess because I don't have this thing happening. Like, you should feel like this is where I'm at right now. And this is probably going to just to my belief systems in general. I truly believe that if you live your life in a way of like, it's coming, I'm just preparing myself for it, or I'll be, when it comes, I'll be ready for it or whatever, then it doesn't feel so much like you're missing it. It's just like, oh, when it gets here, I'll be ready. Right. As opposed to being in that place of like desire and wanting and like, oh, I can't do it. I wish I could do this, but I can't because I want to be in a relationship.
I agree with that. We also have the same beliefs. Yeah. If you focus on the lack thereof, it makes it take even longer. Mm-hmm. So, the book I was referring to was The Way of a Superior Man by David Dida, whatever his last name is. And it talks about, and it put into perspective. And so it finally allowed me and my ego to accept why I felt like this. And he explains that the same yearning, longing that the male has to be successful, and how they don't really want to do much else until they've reached this level of success, and it's in them, it's in their blood or whatever, so to speak, and that's their main focus, and then the family and all these other things are second. But he equated it to the same way the woman, and not every woman, right? He breaks it down to alpha male, female, alpha woman, and we have that same desire to, whether it be to have a partner or start a family or whatever, and then these other things can be less important. Now, I love my career. I think it's 2020. Like,
yeah.
But I was finally able to admit that it matters less. For me, it does matter to have be in a partnership. It does matter to have kids. It does matter. And if I had to choose between the two for whatever reason, that will never happen. But if you had to choose, like if whoever came down and said, you know, this is here, I probably would choose the family and the, you know, over a career, as long as this person is solidified and thriving and happy in their career, right? I almost feel like I've been there, done it, and accomplished it, kind of, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. And now what's the next thing? So I was just gonna say I understand why people feel that way, and I also understand that for me, it's like this is great, but if I don't have anybody to share it with, or if I don't have a family dynamic to share it with, it almost feels like it's in vain. So I'm not gonna sit here and say, you know, that shouldn't matter and la 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 la, because I've also been I've also been guilty of feeling that way as well at times. But 100% with everything that you said. Just because it hasn't happened, don't mean nothing. It doesn't mean anything. It just means it literally means it hasn't happened. That's it. That's all.
And a lot of people that got it early wish it hadn't happened.
Happened. Yeah. They're miserable.
Right. Not everybody. We're not saying it. But yeah, a lot of people, we know, we're in our 30s now. We know plenty of people that's divorced.
And I feel like
we're miserable. And not divorced like amicable, like, oh, we just didn't work out. Like, had a horrible relationship and now are divorced.
And I couldn't imagine, though, also, too. I say, me and my girlfriend say this, say this all the time. I couldn't imagine. Prior to today, I couldn't imagine marrying somebody from 5 years ago, from 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. We wouldn't still be together because I am just simply not that same person.
Yeah.
I am more of who I am going to be now than I was 10 years ago. Now, I think going forward, it'll just be a little small, little tweaks, adjustments, and you're going to grow into, I'm sure, I mean, you know, maybe in 15 years, I go through a completely different revamp. But I don't even know if I walked into a room and met my 22-year-old self. I'd be like, girl, who are you? And why are you so ratchet? Why are you so ratchet? Why are you using curse words on Facebook? Like, who are you? So to me, it's a blessing. And I say it all the time. And I've said it on dates with guys. And I'm like, I'm kind of happy that and we agree. That's one thing we always go, like, yes. You just feel, in your 30s, you feel so much more comfortable and less awkward in who you are and own who you are, whether it be good, bad, indifferent. And so this is when I want to find that person, or I could only, this is the start of, right?
Where you feel like this is a good time.
Finding, yeah. So that brings me comfort and peace and whatever. And I feel less like my life is a mess because I don't.
Right.
I'm like, oh, that's kind of, now it's fun. Now dating is fun. Like, it doesn't get tiresome, yes. Do I, get tired of finding out people's favorite colors and what's the next country they want to go to and blah, blah, blah. Sure. But it's more fun than it was, however long ago.
Right.
But I don't know. I just want to piggyback off what you said, especially the ending part, because I agreed with that 100%. So yeah, but you're not a mess, girl.
Yeah, no.
You're not.
That doesn't make you a mess. It's
and you're just getting better with time, like this wine right here. You're just getting better. And work on you in the meantime. I know people say that. I know that's cliche, and I know it's.
And it doesn't mean you have to be 100% before you find someone, but in the meantime, focus on self.
Yes, this is what I don't get. Back to this one more time. Cooking, okay? If cooking is, or baking, or sewing, or like whatever. I hate to name all domesticated stuff, but if these things are things that you feel like you eventually want to be good at, or it's a skill that you want to have, I ask my friends that don't cook or don't whatever, like, well, why don't you, now's the time to practice when you don't got to feed nobody, and then I'll tell you how nasty your stuff is. Perfect it now. If you don't get on YouTube and find recipes, I'm a direction follower.
Me too.
And then eventually you start to tweak, and you can tweak recipes and add or take away seasonings, but that's how I learned how to cook everything, is by following recipes. I just don't understand why you're waiting on another person to come into your life before you perfect or work on, because those things also make you a better person. I want my parents to be able to come to Houston and me host them and cook a full meal for them, and they tell me how delicious it is. Right? It's not always necessarily for a mate or for a partner. Some things you can
I love cooking for my friends.
Work at being better at for yourself. You can work now on your financials at being, you don't have to wait on a partner for that. Don't be scary like me and God, just got to me. I used to say, I literally used to say, I need to manifestation. Before I dated, the person I dated previously, who I ain't gonna say because he gonna watch this. I said, oh, the next guy that I date, I want him to be in finance because I want him to be good with his money. And then you know what happened? The universe sent me that because it works in its totality.
Yep.
I will do a whole nother video on it for you. And the universe sent me that. And we still bumped heads. I didn't like the way he views money, the way his very like cut and dry and I didn't like it. And I said, if we ever got married, we would, something gonna have to give because I don't like, it didn't work. It still just wasn't a thing. So even what you think, you know, that you're waiting on or that you, whatever, just may not be it, is my point.
It might look different. And I think that's where, you know, we talk about the list, like not having a long, like personality traits. Yes, I want someone who's like cool and funny and, you know, we can laugh together and we can get, like that type of stuff is understandable. But like they need to have this amount of money in the bank. And I'm not trying to say like that, but like they need to be skilled at these things. It's kind of like, is it really? Like I remember, and we're running over, but I remember having a conversation, this was years ago, about I like men who can take care of things. I like men who like can fix cars.
Oh no, that's not mine at all. I just also call it taking care of things.
Mow a lawn. If something maintenance wise is going on, I like a man that can actually physically take care of it. My friend was like, I don't care about that. I just need somebody that can take care of it. Like if you got to pay somebody to bring it,
I'm friends.
Yes. You are the friend. So we have had this conversation too. Yeah. As long as you take care of it, get it done, And I was like, oh, but I just really like a man that like knows what he's doing in certain areas. Well, I've been single all this time, and guess what I've been doing? Paying people to do it. So like in real life, it really doesn't matter. That's a good one. So while in my head, because my dad was that person. My dad is a person that now, he was an electrician, he had his own business. He worked auto cars. Anything was going on, you go talk to him first. Like that's who it is. And I have a friend like that. That's like that, you know, that does that. But in real life, like if he can't go under the hood of a car, is that really an issue? If he's a person that takes care of it, probably not. So I think we get so caught up in like these details.
That's a word.
It's not necessary.
And I'm the opposite, right? That's why I'm the way I am, because my dad is the opposite. And I know seen a man walk on a car day. He's like, but he knows, he's knowledgeable. He can teach himself about, he knows what a carburetor is. He knows what it does on a car, but you don't know how, he's not hands-on.
Right.
But he will find somebody to, he will pay for someone to fix it and it'll get done. It'll get taken care of. And you don't have to ask him about it twice. Yeah. Now, then you got this other category that just don't do nothing. They just there. They ain't doing either or. Yep. Y'all can have them.
I take care of it. 6 months later.
Nothing's happened.
My car has blown up.
Well, I called my daddy now. He told me what to do to get it taken care of.
My friend called around and found somebody.
Right.
And I got it done. So, all right. So we're going to go into the check-in for our water challenge. So week 1, we both were struggling.
We were struggling.
Week 2,
I've done way better.
Me too.
I tell you what I didn't do good at was actually logging it and tracking it in the app. But I've done, and I think it's because I now crave it more. I mean, I drink water I say out loud, drink water, Megan, drink water, and I will go to the refrigerator and get a bottle of water.
That's good.
When I'm at a restaurant, I'll say, drink, you know, I'm at a restaurant all the time. And I force myself to drink I drank way more water this week. And I can see the difference in my skin.
Oh, that's awesome. I don't see any differences other than me peeing a lot more, but I definitely noticed that I am drinking more. I still struggle on days when I have clients. just because I don't want to be like shaking during a session. Like when we get to that like 45 or 90 minute, whatever type of session it is, I don't want to be like, ooh. So but what I realize is, because I'm a person that's like probably the last minute person going to the bathroom anyway. I'm like, okay, go right before. I ain't never had one. but I now am very mindful of like, I go right after, right before session starts, especially I know I have back-to-backs. I'm going to go right before. I will tell my clients, hey, I'm sorry, give me a couple minutes. And typically I'm like, no, I don't want to, them to have to wait on me. And I'm like, look, I gotta, if you don't want me to have to break in the middle of a session, then I need to do this. But I have done, I don't even know what it is. Like I've been counting more. I have been paying attention on my app a little bit more. I'm not saying I hit it every time, but it's been way more consistent than it had been. So that's
I was coming from you already drink a nice amount of water. I was coming from scratch. I was coming from I don't want to say what I really want to say.
Going days that I drink water. Because you said that last time. Well, you said one time you would go a day.
What I was going to say was that I wanted to improve the color of my stool, of my urine.
Urine.
It was bad. It was bad. So that has, it's awesome. Basically see-through.
Oh, yay. Mission accomplished.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for this week, we got to keep it going. So that's been good. I wonder what our next.
I wish I could do like I lost 5 pounds. I haven't weighed myself, so I don't even know. But
I ain't lost nothing.
But I've been going to the bathroom more. I feel fine. So we got 1 or 2 more weeks. Or do we want to just go ahead and, since it's a new month, just cut this one until like new next week and then start the new one?
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll discuss off air.
Yeah, because I got other thing. February is always I want to tackle. I was pescatarian last February.
Okay.
I was, because it's a short month.
Oh,
I think that's why I mentally in my head, it's 2 days shorter. But in my head, I'm always like, oh, February, I'm going to do it in February.
Yeah.
So this February, I'm supposed to be improving my workout. I'm going to start working out again.
Right. We could do that. Really?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm gonna work out at my house. I ain't going nowhere, but we'll talk about like because then we'll have to figure out like, obviously not every day because.
No, but I think that's what the challenge will be. However many days, right? And that's what we stick to. That at a minimum, and you can do it on your own and do your own workout, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be that specific.
So maybe just like a time, like 30 minutes.
Yes, 3 days.
3 times a week. Okay. Because I don't do any workouts.
Exactly. Me neither. I haven't worked out, and I went from having a trainer and being cut up. Okay. To by myself and being fluffy. So something gotta give.
All right, I'm down for that. And I'm sure I could maybe I could find like a little my knee. I don't think it's that bad no more. I probably could take a class again.
Actually, 4 weeks will start.
You saying we would have done 4 weeks?
Oh, well, maybe not. Okay, I'm confused. No, maybe not.
I don't know. But all right, well, we have 1 more week of the water. And then we'll do workout stuff for February. We'll figure that out and let y'all know. So next week will be the last week of water, and we'll update y'all on what the next challenge will be.
And if you have any suggestions, leave suggestions down below.
In the comments.
We need those. On anything. Suggestions on topics, suggestions on challenges, suggestions on segments, or things y'all want to hear us talk about.
Make all those separate comments too. That'd be honest.
If you have,
you just want us to know that you love the show and you think we're awesome, we'll take that too. But if you have issues with us, send a private email to highfunctioningmess@gmail.com or just text Megan if you have our number.
How you know that's gonna be my friend?
It's your friend.
Oh, you heard what she said? Y'all shady. Shady boots.
My friends don't want.
Yeah, hun.
They just share. They share a lot. Yeah. But yeah, leave comments. Let us know what you think. We were supposed to be on iTunes. We should, by the time this comes up, if we're not on iTunes, we're going to contact them and see what's going on. But we are submitted to be on iTunes. So
and when that happens, we need y'all to flood.
We're going to do a push, post, comment, share, tell everybody we need to do a push because we need to get into the new and noteworthy. And I forgot how many days. I'm going to look it up for next time. But
so get ready.
Yes.
I know it's annoying.
We're going to be quite annoying when we
especially shout out to y'all that follow us on everything. Because I post in the Facebook, my personal, and the
Instagram.
The podcast.
Oh, and the podcast, yeah.
Instagram, personal, and podcast, and then YouTube, and it's a lot. We know.
We appreciate it, though.
We appreciate y'all.
It's so funny. I forget because I follow so many people. How many people don't have that many people on their follow? So like I was on something. Oh, I think I was on a High Functioning Mess Instagram, and I was like, why is it the same people over? And I was like, oh, well, one, we don't follow that many people. Two,
yeah, you're supposed to go in there.
I thought you followed my friends.
No, what I said was I went through your friend list to follow the people that I know, but I purposely didn't go through.
Oh, and follow other people.
If I don't know them, I didn't touch them.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you wanted or didn't want.
Okay, I'll do that. But I forget, one, that people don't follow as many people as I do, and two, people don't post as much as the people I follow, because I follow a lot of like other creators and things like that. So like I'm like, why is it the same people every time? Because I rarely see the same people on my timeline. But so we're sorry if y'all see a lot of posts from us. I see the same people on my timeline. So yeah, but make sure you follow, leave comments, and share. The best thing you can do is share this with somebody that you think will enjoy it.
And if you're a guy, you probably didn't get to this full hour. Maybe we'll put it in the front. Maybe this will be the blooper. If you're a guy, it's okay that you don't sit here and watch through this whole thing. Share it with your girl. Look, send that good morning text to all them girls that you send it to, and add the link. And tell them I'm looking out for you. You know, I know you like podcasts and shit. Here you go, check this out. Do that for me.
Or just play it on mute in the background if you just don't want to hear us talking.
I said that to my guy friends, and I said, hey, I got you. If I can't do nothing else, I can go press play and get in the shower.
Yes. But we appreciate everybody for listening and watching, and we'll talk to y'all next week.
Bye.